going on? Joseph Vollmer here. It's kind of hard to tell, but yes, I got Blake's F-150 behind me again. So, didn't get a video out to you this week on Tuesday or Thursday, unfortunately, because I have been messing with this. And I figured out now what the high idle is. There is a charge air temp sensor in the 93 and earlier trucks that is mounted in the intake manifold. The 95 truck that this engine came out of, it's not in the intake manifold, the lower intake manifold. So there's no bung for it. I didn't notice that when I put it together because it was getting really late that night. We were really tired. We were trying to get the engine in. We were jamming on that. That is why we've had a high idle. Because without that sensor, it thinks it's negative 40 degrees. The charge air is negative 40 degrees because that sensor's not plugged in. So it defaults to rich, a high idle and a rich condition to try and warm the engine up. And it never sees the engine warm up. So I've got that figured out. Now tonight I need to go in, I need to pull the upper intake manifold so I can get to the lower intake manifold, pull the lower intake manifold off, put the old lower intake manifold from the original engine on this engine. That way I can put the sensor in where it's supposed to go and get this truck running absolutely perfect. While I'm at it, I'm going to try and change out the valve cover gaskets because the one on the passenger side has a leak in the rear. Didn't know that for sure when we put the engine in. So while I've got the intake manifold and all the rest of the stuff off, it'll be easier to do. So we're going to change out the valve cover gaskets. I'm also going to have to change out the distributor because, long story short, the truck started cutting out and missing and running weird on him. And I got to looking at it and we were trying to figure out why. He drove it home one night and we popped the hood, the exhaust manifolds are glowing orange. So I thought we were going through everything we could, trying to figure it out. Turns out somehow the distributor had moved. Now I don't know why, I don't know how, it moved. Changed the timing by 20 degrees. The timing went from 10 degrees before top dead center to 10 degrees after top dead center. So it moved 20 degrees, but it was firing the spark plugs 10 degrees after top dead center. So now not only are we running rich, we're also throwing a bunch of still burning combustion gases out the exhaust valve, which is superheating the exhaust manifold. Thankfully, I don't think we burned any valves. Everything, it still seems to run fine. In the process of retiming the engine, I accidentally wasn't thinking about it. I was cold, I was tired, I was frustrated. I reached in and tried to move the distributor by the plug-in and broke the plug-in. My bad. Shouldn't have done it. Always grab it by the cap. So, replace the distributor. The distributor that I put in the truck has an issue in the pickup for the ignition system. So it'll run fine for a while and then it'll sit there and it'll cut out. And it'll cut out and come right back. And it's so instantaneous. If it was an automatic transmission in this truck, it might not be too bad. But if you're trying to drive it with a manual transmission, when it cuts out, you instantly lose all power. And as soon as it comes back, if you haven't pulled your foot off the throttle, it will give you full power instantaneously. You will spin the tires, the truck will lurch. It's just extremely dangerous. So it's not even drivable like that. So I've got two brand new distributors. If the warranty one for this one doesn't work, I've got another brand that we're going to try. And hopefully that fixes this issue. So once I get the intake on, drop the new distributor in again, the second new distributor. Do the valve cover gaskets. I also have front brake calipers for this truck because I think one of them's holding. So I'm going to try and get all of this done tonight. So I'm going to throw you guys on a time lapse where you can watch the process here, watch the progress. And I'll bring you back key points on the way through. So do me a favor, guys. Please don't forget, if you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. If you already have, make sure you click the notification bell so you get post notifications on all my videos when they come out, which generally is going to be every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 6:30. Please share. My brain's a little fried, forgive me. Please share these with your friends. I really do appreciate every view I get. So share them with your friends. Hopefully they find them enjoyable as well. Alright guys, so here's something that I just discovered by dumb luck. I was getting ready to pull the distributor cap off, and I was going through and I was going to number my wires on the cap so I can just disconnect them and put them back on in the correct order. Now, the distributor on all these F-150s rotates counterclockwise or anti-clockwise. Alright, now I noticed that, of course, this is always number 1. I noticed my second one was a 3. On the 88, your second wire is not a 3 on an 88. That's not the firing order. So I went over and checked it, and sure enough, on an 88, the firing order is 15426378. Okay. Double checked it. I'm like, okay, something's not right here. Got to thinking about it. They used a different firing order on some years for the 351s, which is your other Ford small block. Camshafts are different. That's why the firing order changed. So I checked for a 95, which is what this engine came out of, and sure enough, on the 95s, the firing order is 13726548. So always keep that in mind. If you're using an engine out of a different year truck, make sure you check your firing order, because if I hadn't numbered all the wires when we put this engine in, I hadn't numbered all the wires at the heads, and we just left the distributor in and, you know, all that stuff. If I'd swapped distributors originally and taken the wires off the caps, I'd have put them on in the wrong firing order. This truck wouldn't have run at all, probably. So thankfully I caught that now. So I know that this truck is running on a 1995 firing order, which is fine. It'll run just fine on that. It's not a big deal. But I just need to get the plug wires on in the right positions. So gotta get them all labeled, get them pulled off. You can see I've already got the upper intake manifold right there. It's out of the way. I'm gonna get the distributor, get the plug wires out of my way, flop them off to the side. That way I can go ahead and just pull the distributor out. I do need to roll the engine over to get the timing at 10 degrees before top dead center number 1 when I pull the distributor. That way everything goes back together. I don't have a fight getting it in the oil pump drive gear. So make sure you get your engine rolled over to the proper position first. That way the oil pump drive shaft is in the correct spot, because it's a square shaft. So if you're not in the correct spot, you'll have a hell of a time getting it into the base of the distributor when you go to put the distributor back in. We're going to get the engine rolled over. We're going to get the wires off. We're going to get the distributor out. Then we'll get the upper intake or the lower intake manifold off, which I'm going to have to pull all the fuel injectors out. I'm going to have to go through and make sure I vacuum up, blow off any dust and dirt so it doesn't end up down inside the lifter valley when I pull the intake off, because once you pull that off, you're going to open up the lifter valley. So I want that all cleaned up. Then I'm going to get that off. I am going to put swap to the set of plug wires off the old engine. At any rate, I'll be back with any other interesting developments. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's now about 5 after 1 in the morning. I finally got it all back together. As you're going to see in the time lapse, that stinking distributor right there is driving me insane. That is the first replacement I got. I got another one because that one, I suspected it had an issue with the ignition module because it kept cutting out. Actually, I ordered 2 of them today from different suppliers. They're both the same part number. It means they both came from the same manufacturer, they were just boxed differently. They're all 3 brand new. And I put in the second one that I was going to warranty that one out for, and it had the same issue, only worse. So I tried swapping in the original, thinking maybe I'd get it to work, but of course it doesn't have any spark. The little module on the side is shot. So I went back to the first one I had in, and it seems to be running fine. So I'm going to take it out for a test drive. Got the intake on, got the charge air temp sensor in this intake. You saw me clean it all up, and I'm going to take it out for a test drive, see if it cuts out, see if it misses. Didn't get to touch the brakes today. Maybe I'll do that over the weekend. Maybe we'll put that in a separate video. I don't know. Maybe I won't make a video. We'll just see how it goes. It just depends on what I got going on. So thanks for watching, guys. And this is where it gets good. This engine that I bought out of a 95 F-150, allegedly, it did come out of the 95 F-150. The guy I bought it from, he took it out of the truck. I am not 100% sure that engine was originally in an F-150, because that is a roller engine. I didn't know it until I pulled the intake off, but that is a roller engine. So that would have been probably one of the high outputs, and I don't think they put them in the F-150s, but I could be wrong. I'll have to do some research on that one. I know they put them in the Explorers and the Mustangs, but so hey, I'm not going to complain, because that's supposed to be the higher horsepower version, and it's supposed to be a little more, it should have a bit more power than the old 88 engine that was in here. So we'll see how it does. Got it all back together for now. Like I said, I'm going to take it out and test drive it. Thanks for watching, guys. Do me a favor, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Questions, throw them in the comments section, share this video, and don't forget to like the video. That way YouTube knows that I'm putting out content that you guys are enjoying, and they'll share it with more people on their own. So have a nice evening, guys. I'm getting ready to go to bed. We will see you on the next one. Don't forget to get out there and get your hands dirty. You might have a little fun doing it.